My name is Dennis Algreen. I'm the Senior Marketing Director for SBC. SBC is an events organizer and one of the biggest media platforms for and around the gambling industry. Our role in the industry is essentially to connect people. We put people together, we assemble all the stakeholders to make sure that we get opportunities to discuss the future of the industry, the development of the industry, and as well as facilitate those crucial business deals. We're at our flagship event here, SBC Summit, which has over 30,000 delegates this year, 550 speakers spread out over 3 full days of conference content on 8 stages. So there's a lot here to do, and then you have networking and a 135,000 square meter expo hall.
There are many related activities packed into just a few days. For someone who has never attended, can you walk us through the tracks such as the expo, speaker stages, awards, startup pitch, workshops, and the social events, and how do they connect?
Yeah, I'll try my best to go through all of it, but as you said, there is a lot going on here this week. We have 7 stages of conference content running throughout. So those are dedicated to different disciplines in and around the industry. We also have a separate stage for our first pitch competition and a separate area for startups in the expo. Then we have various networking elements going on throughout the show around the global markets, dedicated to individual markets on each day. We have just the expo halls separated out in themed areas depending on who you are and who you're interested in talking to.
Thank you. I think you partly answered this already, but are SBC events open to anyone? And who do you recommend it the most to attend and why?
Yeah, we broadened the scope a lot because of the content now has a lot to do with technology and development. So while the core audience will be in and around the gaming and betting industry, and any stakeholder there, from affiliates, operators to suppliers and regulators, are here, but we have expanded the interest also into technology, payments, and other diverse disciplines. So that has been broadened over the years. And essentially, if you're doing business that could be applicable for the gaming industry, it's a good idea to be here.
Thank you. Over the years beyond the events, SBC has grown into other verticals such as gambling TV, insider sport, lottery daily, and more. Can you explain how these developed and how they complement the shows?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're always looking to diversify what we cover, both with our media and our events. And there is a natural progression to this from where the gaming industry and the gambling industry sits. There are peripheral industries that we come into contact with a lot. Payments and fintech is a good example of that. This is an industry that has probably more payment processes than any other industry. So for payment companies and for fintech companies, it's a very attractive space to look into. So it's mostly a natural progression from there. Then you veer into sports and investment and technology. But that all stems from the core of what the industry is interested in and the development of the industry.
Thank you. And as SBC grows its influence over the industry, how are you using this influence to help to shape the sector in a positive way for both players and businesses?
I mean, look, what we can do in terms of the industry is we can help set the agenda. So we can help shape what are the themes, what are the elements that should be discussed, like compliance, like player protection. And that's why you'll see a dedicated player protection zone and a stage here as well. That is our responsibility, and we take that quite seriously. It's very, very important for us that we create an industry that is as clean as possible. We are not here to be malicious. We are here as a fun, as an engaging industry that has a lot of entertainment value for audience.
Thank you. And related to this, if you would have a magic wand, what is the one thing that you would change in the industry immediately and why?
I mean, actually, that's a pretty simple one because we've discussed this in the past. I would want every single market to be legislated because a legal market makes for a regulated market, and it makes for a better player protection, it makes for better tax rules, it evens the playing field how it should be.
What do you personally and the industry should look forward to 2026?
Well, I think there's a reason why we put so much effort and so much focus on technology at this event, because we are a fast-moving industry, right? We always have to navigate complicated regulations and think about the players, think about how we procure players and how we maintain them. And I think technology is usually where we end up finding those solutions. So I think that's one thing that everybody should be aware of is we need as an industry to be at the absolute forefront of technology at all times. And that's why we have separate sessions and academies on Web 3.0, on blockchain, on AI here, because those are some of the technologies that will help us solve the problems of tomorrow, if you will.
You already made me very excited for what's coming up. Can you talk us a little bit about what's behind you, all these opportunities where we could attend to SBC, and what's the difference between them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've expanded our portfolio over the years, and I think we have a mix now of regional dedicated events and then more global events like this one. So the one we're at here is our global flagship, which has representatives from probably over 140 different countries. Whereas some of our regional events in Rio, for instance, next year are dedicated around the Brazilian market because that has a lot of attention and a lot of boom. We have our regional event in the Americas where we merge the LATAM world and the North American world together. There's a lot of experiences there to be shared and there's a lot of common denominators. Then we have our flagship event again next year. We're obviously coming back to Lisbon. This was such a booming success. We want to keep doing it. We have our Malta event, which is dedicated to the Malta-based industry, which is obviously a big hub. Still has 12,500 employees just for this industry on a small island. We have our Toronto event, which is dedicated to the Canadian markets, which have a lot of regional specifics around the territories and such. So it's really important to kind of speak focused about it. And then we have our regional Tbilisi event, which is dedicated to Eastern Europe and Central Asia, where there are some very, very exciting markets emerging, and it's important that we can help cover those as well.
Thank you very much for the interview. What's your final message for those who haven't attended an event yet?
The only message I can say, if you're not here yet at the SBC Summit this year, you should still get here or get here next year. We are now at a point where everybody that has anything to do with online betting and gambling are here. So if you're not, you are missing out.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.